Okay, we're technically recording right now. I don't know where... Okay, microphone recording is on. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first ever live classic podcast. Joining me, I'm your host, Sean, and joining me once again is my friend, Brandon.
Hey, guys.
And Luis isn't here today. He had something to take care of. But we are finally live on the classic podcast. I'm so excited. It's been a while since you guys have seen Brandon's face, so... you can enjoy it, and it's been a while since you've seen my face. Here's a close-up of it. Hey, hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? And
This is your
okay.
update.
Okay. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna record. Luis isn't here, but he has given me his opinions on all these episodes. So I'll try to give what he told me, what he thought of all of them. But anyway, we're gonna record. Okay, so I should also. Okay, go on.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, you should explain what happened in our last episode.
What happened in the last episode is, first of all, I want to apologize for the bad audio editing last episode. I swear to God it was all in sync, and then when I uploaded, I realized, oh my God. So it was kind of bad. I do apologize. I hope you guys still enjoyed that episode of Classic Podcast. I think you guys did, because we got a lot of likes on it, so at least from us. So that was always appreciated. And also, why there hasn't been one in a while is that we were gonna have one already up and going, but there was software I was recording my audio off of, really terrible, and it basically said, oh no, we can't record this, it's a file your computer doesn't recognize. And I tried re-recording it. It was just a pain in the ass, and I said, you know what, we're just gonna record again. That's fine. Also, Brandon, I should note, we do have with the screen capture we're using right now, I have a 2-hour limit. I can't record anything above 2 hours. So
okay.
But we typically end before 2 hours anyway. But anyway,
yeah.
Without further ado, we're going to review 3 episodes of Supergirl, and we're going to review 2 episodes of Flash.
2 Flash, 3 Arrow, and 3 Legends.
And Legends, right. Okay, so why don't you start us off with the first plot summary for Supergirl?
Yeah.
And your arm is in the way.
Hey, well, my phone's going to be in the way of my face as I'm reading.
That's fine.
So, okay, episode 16, Falling. Supergirl inadvertently comes in contact with red kryptonite, which destroys her inhibitions. It turns out that Maxwell created it in hopes of stopping Non-Stick's attack. However, it gradually turns Supergirl evil. The DEO is able to subdue her, but at the price of Hank revealing himself as the Martian Manhunter. That's it.
That's it? Okay, wow, that's actually pretty short compared to what actually happened in the episode. So that's pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, hold on. So what I wanted to talk about here is... this was a really good episode for many reasons. One, we got to see a side of Supergirl that we've been wanting to see for a while, and that was her anger. One of her defining characteristic traits is her anger and her aggression compared to her cousin, who's like one of the nicest people on Earth, and Supergirl's like, no. And of course, we had to use red kryptonite for it, and that's fine. It was really good. It was really good performance from Melissa Benoist, who was able to make a character we have really liked, and, you know, from the very first episode that we've been rooting for, just giving us a performance where we can say, you need to lose, you need to get your ass kicked. That's very hard. So, that is... so, with that being said, it was really good. You know, it was cool seeing the Martian Manhunter fight Supergirl. I called it. I knew that was going to happen, because I'm like, yep, this day and age... it's the trend this year, seeing heroes fighting each other in the adaptations, and I'm like, okay, fine. So, and that was pretty cool. The costume Kara got when she was evil was also pretty nice. I don't know where she got it from, but I'm like, you know what? I like that costume.
Yeah.
So, with that, I overall really enjoyed this episode. The ending was really great as well. I mean, seeing Hank Henshaw finally reveal himself as John Jones, aka the Martian Manhunter, was really cool as well. So maybe I don't know if he needed to do that. Maybe he didn't. I don't quite remember the reasoning why he decided to do that. I don't think I agreed with it though when he told me that. I just went, I don't understand why he did it, but in general, I overall really enjoyed this episode. It was probably one of my favorites from the season so far. And
yeah, same here.
It was really good. So what did you think of it, Brandon?
I thought it was really good too. Can't remember exactly what I said in the last time we did this, but yeah, I really enjoyed seeing Supergirl as the person we want to get their ass kicked, as opposed to all season long. I didn't quite understand too why Martian Manhunter had to reveal himself to the world, but I do know it was pretty awesome seeing them fight each other.
Yeah, it was, and that emotional ending that we saw between Supergirl and Martian Manhunter and the rest of the team was also pretty good. So that was also it hit me right in the feels.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was just a super good episode. I really enjoyed it. And I like how this episode, while we didn't get to see them interact with General Lon, who's the main villain right now in the show.
Yeah.
It's still a significant episode because it does change the landscape of how the city perceives her. So, and this is what I've been saying for a long time, because I think the way we've recorded our classic podcast, people have assumed that if it doesn't have the main villain in it, it's a filler episode, which is not the case.
No.
A filler episode is something where we defeat this one-off villain that will have no effect on the overall landscape.
Story. Yes,
exactly. Like
that's the whole definition of a filler episode.
Right. So, like, for example, I think The Flash. I love The Flash. I've liked the season 2 so far, but there have been a lot of fillers. I think, for example, the one we're going to review, the Trajectory episode, is a perfect example. It was one episode of that one villain, and we didn't get any context for the rest of the overall season until the very end. So I don't see how the Flash fighting Trajectory will affect the overall outcome of this whole Zoom storyline. That's a filler.
Yeah.
This isn't filler because it changes how people view Supergirl. And even though, as we see in the crossover episode we're about to review, we're going to review, they do change their opinions on Supergirl, but the point being is that, you know, it still changed the landscape that we've seen, and it wasn't filler at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you define as a filler episode? I think that's a bigger question.
A filler episode is, to me, it's just an episode that's not really needed for the season.
Exactly.
Like the whole season, the whole story could do without it. It's like, say, Batman has to spend all season trying to plot a way to stop the Joker, and then in one episode, he fights, I don't know, Two-Face, and Two-Face is gone forever, and it has nothing to do with stopping Joker.
Exactly.
That's a filler.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with the difference between it's kind of a different tangent in itself, but like the thing versus like live action where it has an overarching storyline and animation where it goes by one episode. Not saying animations don't have like storylines but they only do it like 3 parts.
Yeah.
I've seen, whereas like live action, they want to have an overarching story arc like a comic book, where in a comic book we have about 5 issues is about a story arc where, let's say, for example, the Flash is dealing with the blackout of Central City and National or whatever city. I don't remember what city it was, that Flash comic I read. But the point is like, it's like there's no filler in that. Whereas I feel like, I'll say it once and I'll say it again, if I had it my way, I would honestly have 13 episodes for every season and have no filler whatsoever. But,
or just be like Legends and just add episodes.
Yeah. So I just feel like it's fine. I think Supergirl in the beginning was having a lot of filler episodes. Like that Red Tornado thing, I think it did come into play eventually with the Bizarro episode, but in general, the Red Tornado storyline really isn't that important to this. I think the new Krypton storyline is the one they're trying to use now in this season, the new Krypton storyline from the Superman comics. So I feel like that isn't important, but this episode, lately Supergirl has been a fantastic job giving us a complete story from episode to episode. We might be fighting villains or having events that will be forgotten, but like the events will affect the little things that will go a long way.
Yeah.
And I think that is what I want to see. That's what I want to see on the Flash more. Is I want to see them, if they want to fight a one-off villain, that's fine. But I want to see how that affects the overall structure of the story. And I think that's what this episode did really well. And I super enjoyed that. So, yeah, so this episode was good. It wasn't perfect, though. I feel Maxwell Lord's plan doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah, that too.
Like, for example, he's like, well, I set a building on fire, and I thought that was gonna I think what he was trying to do is, I think somehow he knew that that satellite on that building was being used by General Nod. I don't know how the hell he knew that. And I'm like, well, Supergirl is obviously going to go help the firefighters because she's a superhero. So I don't see how. I personally thought it would have been General Non using the red kryptonite to get Kara to act violent and have the city turn against her.
Yeah.
That's what I think they should have done. I mean, Maxwell Lord hasn't really been playing that big of a role lately in the show.
Yeah.
Which is kind of disappointing, but at the same time, he'll be back.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like the villain that just dies at the end of the season.
No, he's probably going to be like an overarching villain.
Yeah.
So.
Hang on, sorry here. I've got some crap in my iPad.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I didn't like. What did you not like?
Also, oh, okay, there's my webcam. Also, if red kryptonite was just gonna turn Supergirl evil, like what would I have done to Non if he was there?
It's like I've been saying. It's like Maxwell Lord's plan really doesn't make sense when you sit down and think about it. Maybe he had some alternative or something, but it just didn't make much sense to me. At least I was like, doesn't make much sense. I said, I think it really should have been General Non who made the red kryptonite.
Yeah.
And he would have like some soup that makes sure it wouldn't affect him or something. And just put it there and like cause that trap. I think that would have been fine. I honestly think they had that because they haven't had Maxwell Lord in a while, and they're like, oh, we got to have him in the plot.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it. But that's probably the only thing I didn't like. Is there anything else you didn't like, or?
Not really.
I mean, it was just a really solid episode, really good. It was also, overall I really enjoyed it. Now the hard question is, as it always is, who is our character of the week?
Oh, I remember I chose Supergirl from our last episode.
Yeah, I think I did too.
Because she was, we got to see her be someone who we want to see lose, as opposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think Louise is the one who said Manhunter.
Yeah, he did say Martian Manhunter, which I argued that was also important as well, because we got to see him go in a different place, and it affects his character throughout the entire rest of the season. Maybe the whole show. I don't know. I don't know how long they're going to use Martian Manhunter. So I hope he doesn't die. I hope he is an overarching character that we get to see throughout the entire series, because I have really enjoyed him. So hopefully he sticks around. Yeah, but I agree with you, Brandon. I feel Supergirl is my character of the week because we got to see a different side of her that we haven't seen, and we actually have to see a character that we've been rooting for and that we've really liked. Even when the show wasn't at its best, I've been saying the reason to watch Supergirl is her. She is the reason. I feel that she is in terms of characters I like the most, I feel like she is my favorite protagonist out of all these shows. I'm just going to be honest. I feel like they do such a good job with her. She's relatable. She still kicks ass with her superpowers. And they don't make her overpowered either. Like, the villains that she fights, they're going one-on-one with her. And I really appreciate that. And, because a lot of the notion between Superman and Supergirl and all the other super characters in the comics that people don't read them say, well, then they're boring because they're overpowered. That's not true. A lot of the villains they face can go up against them and still have a good chance of winning. So I'm really glad the show is embracing that, and then they're just saying, no, just because they're really powerful doesn't mean that they're going to win all the time. And I really do appreciate that. So, I mean, that's just my point of view. I mean, all right, so my character. As for letter grading, what would your letter grading be?
I think I gave it an A- last time.
Yeah, I think I did too. So, yeah, probably an A-. I probably would give it that. So, yeah, just a really solid episode. Supergirl's been really good ever since it came back.
Ever since the beginning, yeah.
I think ever since, in my opinion, I think the show has really improved ever since the holiday break.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not quite sure when it started. I can't name what episode it started.
I think it was a holiday break because remember they kept like throwing us all over the place.
Yeah.
And now it's all starting to come together.
Exactly. So I think once we've hit the second half of the season, it started to get really good, and that's awesome. So yeah. So all right. So you ready to move on to the next episode, or is there anything else you want to say?
Nope, I'm ready.
All right.
Episode 17, Manhunter. While Kara is trying to win back National City's trust, Marine Colonel James Harper, Eddie McClintock, begins an investigation into Jean's affair with Lucy, having re-enlisted into the army at a previous rank of major as his legal assistant. God. After learning that Hank and Alex are on their way to Project Cadmus, Kara tells Lucy that she is Supergirl and convinces her to help rescue Hank and Alex. Hank learns that Jeremiah is still alive, so he and Alex could go on the run to find him, but not before manipulating Harper into resigning from the Marines and appointing Lucy as the acting director of the DEO. Meanwhile, Siobhan tries to get revenge. Siobhan.
Yeah.
Tries to get revenge on Kara for getting her fired, but gets caught and discovers that she has the power to sonic scream. That's it.
Okay. So thank you, Brandon. Okay. So what I want. Okay. So this episode, once again, this is an episode where people have told, where I think that story can be great without action. There wasn't much action in this episode. But at the same time, I've been saying it for the longest time, is that I don't need action every time. You know.
Yeah, we just need something that goes along with the story.
Exactly. I feel that action is great, but for me, I care more about character development and stories than I do seeing great action on the screen.
Yeah.
So, one thing I wanted to bring up is that we all know Supergirl compared to Man of Steel and the other superhero movies is that it doesn't have the biggest budget in the world to do crazy things that we've seen in the films. They can't fly through buildings and smash things right away.
Mm-hmm.
They do it occasionally, but they don't do it right away. So what a TV show does is that it basically goes, hey, we have to tell more of a story compared to the movies because we don't have this big of a budget. It's a good limitation to have because you get to tell more stories. I feel that when you kill off a character in a television show, we care more about that than a movie character because, like, this is kind of a spoiler for Age of Ultron, but I assume everyone has seen Age of Ultron at this point. When Quicksilver died at the end of Age of Ultron, I didn't really care because I don't think we got to know him enough for me to care about him.
Yeah.
So, whereas, like, with a TV show, if it's every week or whenever it's on, we care more about these characters because we see them over time. Whereas, like, a one-off character in a movie, although I do think Quicksilver will be back as no one dies in the Marvel movies. And, you know, I just feel overall that it does say something. Also, character of the week for me, by far, is Martian Manhunter. This entire episode has been about Martian Manhunter, and it's great. We get to see his backstory. We get to see him interact with Kara's dad, how he became Hank Henshaw. By the way, the real Hank Henshaw is a freaking douchebag.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn. So that was really cool. Also, once again, we get more but not filler. Not filler at all. Because we get to see new things with Martian Manhunter. We get to see Alex and Martian Manhunter leave. Though, if you didn't know any better, you'd swear that Alex was off the show now.
Yeah.
Because they made it. They make it look like
they
goodbye.
made it look
like. I'm like, you leaving? I'm like, what? So that I super enjoyed as well. It is cool. I kind of thought we were gonna see a new leader of the DEO, and I kind of knew. Luis was saying it was going to be Alex, but for some reason in the back of my mind, I thought it was going to be Lucy Lane. And I'm just like, we need to give her something to do. We can't have her just show up every now and then. We need to have her do something. So
we need to get her involved, basically.
Yeah. So I feel like if we have her do this, we don't have to deal with what I like what the show is doing is like, okay, Lucy and James Olsen are done. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So what I like about Supergirl is that they have listened to our complaints and they've gone, okay, we're focusing maybe a little too much on the love triangle stuff and we need to focus more on the superhero stuff. Because one of the I feel, and I've been saying this, I feel like when they're focusing exclusively on superhero stuff, like trying to stop a villain, all that stuff, I feel that's when the show shines. I feel like it does it tremendously. Whereas I feel like the drama is kind of the weakest part of the show. I think we even discussed one time in a podcast, like, well, do we even need to be in Catco and all that stuff? I think it should be there, but I don't think we need to have it be such a huge, important part. If you get what I mean. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I get what you mean.
Okay. But do you still think they're going to do that? I feel like we're going to have Kara in Catco, but I also feel like, you know,
they're going to end Catco at some point?
I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to have her be there. I want her to be there, but I'm just trying to think of, like, how we can integrate it into... I feel like what Catco's purpose is in the show is that it's supposed to be, like, how the city perceives things.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like what it is, because as we've seen, Catco and what they say about Supergirl does affect what people say about her. So,
yeah,
I feel like from that point of view, we should have her, because I feel like, at least for me personally, I feel like I can connect to National City more as a factor than Star City and Central City, because I feel like the city's reaction, we know what they're thinking. Even though we don't know anyone from the city other than our main cast, I feel like the show tells you, oh, here's what they think of Supergirl. You get what I mean? I feel, whereas with Star City, I don't feel we know the city enough, and I feel we don't know enough from Central City. We know how they perceive the heroes, but we don't get to see a factor that it's kind of hard to explain, but I feel like National City, we know more about it and how the people think compared to the other shows. That's just how I feel. But enough about that. That's just me going off on my tangents. I personally really enjoyed this episode as well. It was great seeing Martian Manhunter's storyline. It was great.
Yeah, his backstory. Yeah, it really got us more involved with the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, I overall super enjoyed it. I like where the show is going with this direction. It gets me excited. I can't wait to see how we're gonna evolve. What's gonna happen with Kara's dad and all that stuff. I want to see where that goes. We got to rescue Dean Cain's Superman. We've been asking, where is Superman? I'm like, he's in the show. He's just So that part is really cool. So I can't wait to see. I don't know if they're going to do it this season, but I think that may be an important factor into next season. Hopefully. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I think I've said this. I have a theory. I think they're going to use Brainiac for next season of Supergirl. Because anything that's not in the movies is free game for TV. So unless they want to use, which makes no sense because they're separate. So what? But I feel unless Brainiac, hold on. I feel unless Brainiac is going to be a Justice League villain, they've maybe hinted at. I don't think they're going to use. I think after watching Batman v Superman, they're going to use Darkseid for sure. They're going to use Darkseid for sure. So I feel that Brainiac is free game to use, which I would much rather see him fight a super person than the Justice League.
Yeah,
that's more important. So other than that, I mean, my tangents. Overall, super enjoyed this episode. My character of the week is definitely Martian Manhunter.
Same.
It's really good. The story was good. Not a lot of action, but like I said, we don't need a lot of action to be entertained. At least me.
We don't.
I don't need.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
So, what did you think?
Letter grading. I thought it was great. Like I said, getting involved with Martian Manhunter, getting to know him a little more other than his, his verbal perspective.
Yeah.
You're getting to actually see it and help like clarify. Like I personally feel getting to actually see things like in flashbacks could help like clarify, the events, as opposed to just someone saying like, so and so this happened. Yeah,
Right.
I personally would rather like see it for myself because then I get a clear,
Right.
vision of what actually happened.
Right. I agree with you. Speaking of flashbacks, I believe Alex had flashbacks. I believe Supergirl had flashbacks when she
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
returned.
When like Supergirl was a little kid, she had a flashback.
Yeah. And I gotta be honest, every time the flashbacks showed up earlier in the season, I kind of thought, like I didn't like them, to be honest. But this was an exception. Like I super enjoyed them, and I feel like we finally got to explore more. The Supergirl flashback was great, but I
Hmm.
feel like the Alex flashback was really great as well because
Yeah.
after viewing that flashback, I really felt like we got to know more of her character, and I started to
Hmm.
care more. Because I think I said if there was one character, I'm like, okay. I think I said that if there's one character that I can't describe to anyone, no matter how hard I try, it would be her.
Yeah.
So I feel like with this flashback, we get to see more of her, and I love that. Also, when she has long hair, she kind of looks like Laurel.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She kind of does.
So, so I was like, what? you know,
Hmm.
but so I thought that was kind of funny. So overall, I really enjoyed that. My episode rating, I'm gonna give this an A. I super enjoyed it. I think it's gonna be great for where it's gonna go. The
So what?
show, even if it's not
What?
this season, it may be next season. All that, I can't wait. We get
So
to see
what didn't you like
what
about this episode? Yeah.
what
Yeah. Never said what didn't you like. Like, what'd you not like?
what did I not like?
Hmm.
Um, what I didn't like. I can't really think of anything I didn't like, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't think. I don't feel. I
Well,
mean, it's been a while since I've seen this episode, but
I still remember it pretty vividly, to be honest.
yeah.
So I can't think of anything I didn't like. I might have to give it an A plus. I really can't think of it. I really can't think of anything I didn't like, but I'm just like, no, there has to be something. I'm like, I'm trying. The critic in me is like, no, there has to be something wrong with it. I'm sure there is, but
I'm sure there is, but
I can't think of anything. I'm gonna give it an A plus. I super enjoyed it. I can't.
I'm gonna give A plus. I think even if there is like minor wrongs in it, it still explained like all the like especially Martian Manhunter. It still explained his story perfectly.
Exactly, I agree. I
That's
feel like
that's what this was all about, basically.
I agree, and other characters as well.
Yeah, another.
So I'm glad they took the action, put it on the back burner, and said, here's more of a story," and it was really great. So I loved it. So all right. Oh, who is your character of the week? Probably
Manhunter.
Manhunter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think we're ready to move on to the next one.
The crossover.
Yay! I like this episode.
World's Finest, episode 18. Shaban discovers that women in her family are cursed with the spirit of the Banshee, which can only be quieted by killing whoever wronged them. Deciding to kill Kara, Shaban frees Livewire from captivity at the DEO and suggests they team up. Shaban, now calling herself Silver Banshee,
Mm-hmm.
and Livewire kidnap Kat and wreak havoc in National City Park. With the help of the Flash, Grant Gustin, a superhero from an alternate universe, Kara is able to subdue them and win back the National City's trust.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, Kara discovers that everyone in National City has fallen under mind control, revealed by Non to be the Myrad effect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Brandon. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, I'm so happy we finally got to see a crossover between the Flash and Supergirl. I want to see Supergirl crossover with the entire Arrowverse, if I have to be honest with you. But out of all the characters for her to team up with, it makes way more sense for her to team up with the Flash than Green Arrow, because Green Arrow's a street. At the end of the day, Green Arrow is a vigilante. He's not.
Yeah.
He fights the street level crowd. Well, he should.
Yeah.
But I do still want to see that one day, and I think we will. And I really enjoyed this episode. It was great seeing. It was so great seeing Supergirl and the Flash just team up right away. I don't need to see them fight. I don't need to see them fight. I don't need to see them argue about their beliefs and what they believe in. I'm so tired of that. It's not appropriate for these characters. So it's totally in line with who they are. to not give into the trend of seeing heroes fighting each other like we've been seeing this year. And that has made me really happy. I applaud CBS for doing that. It was great seeing the Flash and Supergirl interact. Fantastic.
Remember when Cat Grant was like, "You guys look like, people from a CW show."
Yeah, they look like the diverse cast of a CW show. My mom was watching this, and she's never seen the Flash before, so she also really enjoyed it. She enjoyed the Flash. She enjoyed, all that stuff. So it was great seeing my boy and Supergirl interacting with each other. I loved it. Silver Banshee was also, I kind of thought that, I didn't remember the origin of Silver Banshee from the comic books, but I do love what they gave it, because I thought they were just going to say, oh, metahuman. And Flash was going to be like, oh yeah, metahumans, I have them on my Earth, so you have them on yours. Which I thought was kind of lazy. But
now I remember one thing I didn't like from the previous episode.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Now that we mentioned Silver Banshee,
the
previous episode, which I actually explained in this episode, so it really doesn't matter much. But how, like, all of a sudden when Siobhan falls off the building, she has this screaming power. Yeah, I remember we mentioned that in the last podcast. But now they've explained it, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, still, I agree with you, Brayden. Yeah. But then I remembered, oh yeah, they explained it, so I don't really care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, in general, it's just really cool.
One thing I didn't like about this episode is the lack of explaining how Flash got to Supergirl's world. Like, all of a sudden, he just comes out of nowhere.
I think what they're doing... I think the timelines between the shows is kind of mixed. Like, I feel like the next episode we see of The Flash on the 19th is going to explain why he was there. I think in the show, I think that's already happened. It's really confusing, but I just went along with it because my mom was like, wait, why is the Flash in the show if he's from a different universe? And I said,
Supergirl is supposed to be Earth 4?
They didn't say the number. It's probably Earth 4. I don't think they're going to say Earth 3 because that's crime syndicate.
Supergirl would be a bad guy.
Yeah, then she'd be a bad guy. So,
I'd say Earth 4.
Yeah.
Earth 4 LA.
Earth 4, yeah. I think my mom was asking me, why is the Flash in this universe? And I said, because they're jumping from different universes.
Yeah.
And I feel that's what the device is for. And I think we're going to see that device in the next episode of The Flash.
No, I think it's actually going to be Cisco who's going to open up the portals. Honestly,
I'm not quite sure.
I think they said that. I think they said that it's going to be Cisco's power is going to be able to reopen the portals. I think they've said that.
Oh well.
Because if you look at the trailer, Cisco puts back his glasses. Like on his glasses, so I think it's going to be Cisco who can reopen the portals. Okay. But we'll get to that later.
Okay, yeah, we'll get into that later. Yeah, I agree with you, Brandon. I think the device may come into play. He'll probably reference his adventure with Supergirl in the next episode.
Yeah.
So, but still, overall, I'm just glad they were there. Like,
yeah.
Like, just in general. Also, big news from the show. We are going to see an Earth 1 version of Supergirl in next season's Flash. And a lot of people are saying it's going to be the alternate version of her called Power Girl from the comics. And I'm like, yes. I just think that's the perfect way we can have a Supergirl-like character. I don't think it's going to be the same actress because they film in different cities. So I think it's going to be Power Girl. And I'm super excited for that. So yeah, I think they have confirmed. I heard something about that. So Power Girl next season for Flash, awesome. And they have confirmed another Flash Supergirl crossover for next seasons as well. So
will it be on Supergirl or Flash this time?
I think they're gonna go back and forth.
So next season it'll be on Flash.
I think what they're gonna do is he's gonna go back into Supergirl's world, but when he comes back,
Supergirl's gonna come back with him.
He's going to come back with an alternate version that's Power Girl. I think that's what I don't really know. I mean, we don't really know yet. It's just in the development phase, so we don't know yet. But anyway, super stoked about that. So we could see Power Girl be like this CW, the Arrow versus Supergirl. So that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, maybe she'll be in Legends of Tomorrow or something. Yeah, awesome. They might be doing a 3-way crossover between Arrow, Flash, and Legends. I don't know how that was going to work. I don't know.
I can kind of see it, though.
I
mean, especially since the characters are from those two shows, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, but like
it'll be amazing, like how they're going to do it.
Yeah, I feel like the one thing I'm concerned about is like in the first trailer for Legends of Tomorrow, they didn't show. They showed the Flash teaming up with the Legends, so we haven't seen that yet, and we're kind of nearing the end of the season. So, when is he going to do that? I'd like it. Honestly, they may have just done it just to get people more excited. I'm like, it's a new show. That gets me excited. I don't need the Flash to be in it, so that's just me. I'm sorry. That's just how I view things.
Yeah.
But
all right, so let's jump back into this episode.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Hey,
our favorite. Do that a lot.
I'm sorry. But hey, our favorite villain is back. Livewire came back.
Yeah.
So I was super excited for that. I'm like, yes, Livewire is back. So that was really cool. I think so that was really awesome as well. I dig. One thing I really like about the Catco thing is that these two villains in particular were connected to Catco in a way. So I think they are trying to connect it back to the superhero stuff, and I think they're doing a really good job with it. So overall, props to CBS. They're keeping Catco more in line with the superhero stuff. I dig that. And I just really enjoyed that. So the villains were cool. I kind of thought, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought that the way Siobhan got her Black Banshee costume was kind of dumb, because I believe that I don't remember, but I think in the comics that's not a costume. That's just how she looks because of the curse. So,
well, these shows tend to not really follow the comics that well. See Arrow. We'll get to that.
Oh my god. Let's talk about good stuff first.
Yeah.
So, okay. Spoiler alert, we did not like Arrow. But yeah, overall, super enjoyed this episode. I hope a lot of people that have been naysaying is like, oh, it's Supergirl. It's, which is weird because a lot of the Flash people that are only watching the CW shows are kind of like, it looks too girly or something. Even though like Supergirl's dominating ratings compared to CW shows, which they don't get as much high ratings as CBS. So, but still, hopefully, this episode like opened them up to Supergirl, because it is a good show. Like in the beginning, I wouldn't blame you for stopping, but like now it's good. It's really good. So, yeah. So
if you've stopped, go back and watch, because it's really good now.
Yeah, it's really good. I would say start the second half. I feel start with the second half and then go from there. That's just me. So yeah, overall, really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give this episode. The only thing I didn't like. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you here. I thought the Flash, when he was fighting the villains, they kind of weakened him a lot.
Yeah, he kind of sucked when he was fighting those villains.
Yeah, and I'm like, he fights villains like, I think Livewire took him out, and I'm like, look, he fought Blackout in season 1, so they're pretty similar. So I didn't get why he got knocked out that quickly. I know it's a Supergirl show, and she has to be the one to defeat the villains. I get that, but I really wish they didn't they kind of depowered him a lot, and I'm like,
yeah.
I would prefer if you just kept him as powerful as he is. But that's probably my only complaint. So for me, it's an A. And for my character of the week, I'm gonna go with Flash, because he brought a spunk and energy to this show that already had a lot of it, but he just added something to it, and it was really great seeing him. So I'm gonna go with, ironically, in the Supergirl show, I'm gonna go with Flash. Hey, it's a crossover, so I can say that. So that's my character of the week. I give it an A. I super enjoyed this crossover. I cannot wait for the next one next season. So what do you think?
I'm going to give it an A, but I'm going to say my character of the week is actually, again, Supergirl, because she won back she was able to win back the city's trust and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff.
Okay, that's fair.
And Flash was awesome, and he did bring a lot of energy, but with the fact that they kind of made him look weak, kind of like just took it down a notch. But
fair enough.
I'd say Supergirl.
Yeah. Okay.
Flash was a really close second. I will say that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Flash. I just super enjoyed it. All right. So I think that's it for the Supergirl reviews.
Yep. So on to Flash now.
Yay! All right.
All right. So
the Trajectory one.
Yep. Episode 16, Trajectory. The Flash team work to train Barry to get faster so that he can stop Zoom. However, they hit a roadblock and decide to go out to have fun and decompress. While they're at a club, another speedster shows up and robs everyone before escaping. A Mercury Labs employee, Eliza Harmon, turns out to be the speedster who developed Velocity 9 from samples of Caitlin gave her to help with Jay's illness. Operating under the name Trajectory, she invades Star Labs, imprisons Barry, demands more V9. After she threatens Jesse's life, Dr. Wells and Caitlin make more of the drug for Eliza, who then speeds off to wreak havoc on the city. Barry tracks her down and tries to talk Eliza into giving up. She refuses and injects more V9 into her system before speeding off. Barry watches as Eliza's speed becomes so intense that her lightning turns blue and she disintegrates. Meanwhile, Jesse decides to leave the city to experience... No, Siri, get out of here. The city to experience the world on her own. Based on what Barry saw from the overuse of V9, the similarities between Zoom's speed and Jay's sickness and Cisco's vibe, the team conclude that Jay is Zoom. That's it.
Yeah, in the next episode, they've confirmed that Hunter Zolman is Zoom, which I kind of do that, but like you said, Brandon, these shows aren't really that accurate, so they could have changed it for all I know. But they didn't. They changed its origin, but they kept the name, so that's fine with me. So okay,
changed his origin, but I like how and I like his origin, but I don't like how the trailer already revealed like pretty much almost everything. To be honest, like I feel they should have left some stuff out.
Yeah, I feel like
it looks like, from my judgment, it looks like he's a convicted serial killer who is being put on the electric chair. Mm-hmm. But while he was on the electric chair, the particle accelerator exploded, and that's what gave him his speed. That's what it looks like to me, unless they decide to add some stuff.
I think they're gonna add some stuff. I have a really hard time believing they're gonna.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time believing they're gonna show us everything. This isn't Warner.
Looks like he has a demon inside of him too. Because you see in the trailers, his eyes go all black.
Yeah.
He has a freaking demon.
Don't you get it? He's so evil. He doesn't have eyes anymore.
Let's start talking about the trailer for next week's episode when we have another episode after this one.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, this Trajectory episode is what I've been saying for the longest time. I think I kind of gave a semi-review in one of my tangents. Is that this is filler.
This is filler.
I'm sorry.
Aside from the ending, this is filler.
Until the ending showed up, this was filler. And I hate saying that, but it was. I thought we were going to go somewhere with the Flash being now convicted as a criminal. Again, because I've been rewatching season 1, and they did think he was a criminal, and they formed the task force to take him down. So I kind of thought maybe we would go back to that, but no, we don't. So, okay, but, you know... Overall, it was okay. It was a good episode. Like, don't get me wrong, filler doesn't equal bad.
Yeah.
Because people, I think people think that we think filler is bad. Filler isn't bad, but
it's something that's not really needed.
It's just like I think this was a break episode. Like, it is an episode that came back after a break, which we've had way too many of. And
thank God this is our final breaks for these shows.
It better be.
Oh. Legends is already done with breaks.
Yeah, they're done. We only have 3 episodes left, I think.
No, we have... Legends is 16 episodes now.
What? Oh, great. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. That's the trade-off. We get 3 more episodes, but in return, Legends is completely done with breaks.
All right. Well, as long as it's done with breaks, fine. So, okay.
No, don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. Sorry, your audio just went a little bit robotic, but it's fine now.
Okay. All right. So, this trajectory episode, it was just okay. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it that makes me go.
Nothing. The whole. Yeah.
There was nothing about it that made me go, "Oh my god." It was so needed. It really wasn't. But not to say I hated it. It's just maybe it gave us some foreshadowing towards Zoom because his lightning is blue.
Yeah.
And I think my theory about him trying to absorb Barry's speed to cure that disease that I posted that theory, I think it's going to happen. Man, I'm on point.
No, they're listening. They're listening to you.
They're listening to
Unlike a certain show.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if I was writing Arrow, it'd be the most amazing thing right now.
Yeah.
But screw guys that know Arrow, Green Arrow. You know?
We'll get to that.
Oh my god. That's going to be a long rant. I almost feel we should review Legends and then review Arrow, because I got a lot to say. So...
We can do that if you want.
We can do that. I mean... Alright.
If you want.
I think we should wrap this
up. Oh yeah, we
should
stay on these episodes. We've been jumping off way too much.
With the exception of the ending, I just didn't feel like this episode was that important.
This was a very,
important. And Jesse's coming back. She becomes Jesse Quick. I know what this show's going to do. They're going to have a bunch of speedsters. They're going to have the real Jay Garrick probably show up and fight Hunter Zolomon.
Masked Man.
What's up?
I still think he's the Masked Man. But if he is the Masked Man, who the hell just died? That's what I want. That's still what I want to know.
Clones everywhere. Yeah. I mean, I think they're gonna have this bunch of speedsters team up to defeat Zoom. I really think that's what they're gonna do. And Jesse Quick is a speedster in the comics, so I just think that's what they're gonna do. So
yep.
She's gonna come back. Interesting thing though, nice Easter egg they had though for the city she was going to. What was it, Opal City or something?
Opal City, yeah.
Okay, in the comic books, in DC comic books, that is the home of a hero named Starman. So is CW hinting at a possible show?
Maybe.
With Starman? That'd be kind of interesting. I don't know anything about Starman. I heard it's great, but I haven't read it, so I'd be interested in that. So see what they can do. So, awesome. It's probably just an Easter egg. They're probably not doing it. They're probably like, we already have too many DC shows already. So, even though...
Well, a certain show won't last that much longer, but...
Next season's probably
We'll get into that again.
Alright, so overall, I'm going to give this episode a B. It was a good episode, but it's not that important.
It was fun to watch, but it was really not that important to the whole storyline.
Yeah.
Aside from the end.
Yeah. I just remember my character of the week. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably gonna go. I don't know why I'm saying this. I don't know why I'm saying this. I think I'm gonna go with Jesse Quick. Because
I was thinking her too, because... Go ahead.
I think it's good. I think for me it's Jesse Quick because... just seeing her trying to be her own thing in this own world, I think that's super interesting. Whereas her father's
especially she's just yeah,
so I think that
I just got you back from Zoom. I don't want to lose you again.
Yeah, but at the same time she has to live her own life, bro. Especially considering you've been saying, we're not going back home.
Yeah.
She's not going to be locked up in a lab forever. So I think, unfortunately, we're not going to see her explore Opal City. I don't think. Maybe. So I'm going to go with her, though. I feel like that could be interesting down the long road. So I'm going to go with Jesse Quick as my character of the week.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I felt the exact same way.
What's your...
And my letter grading's probably a B-.
Ooh, more harsh than me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, let's move on to the next
episode. Flashback.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Barry travels back in time to when Hartley Rathaway attacked the team and changes places with his past self in order to have Dr. Harrison Wells / Eobard Thawne help him solve the Speed Force equation. However, after a time race follows Barry to the past, Eobard deduces Barry's depiction and attempts to kill him. Barry is able to convince Eobard that his plan succeeds in the future, but in order to maintain it, he must help Barry become faster. The Wraith comes to the lab where Caitlin and Cisco are forced to accept help from the captured Hartley to deter the Wraith. Afterward, the Barry from the current time arrives, forcing the explanation of the time travel event. Eobard provides the future Barry with information needed to solve the formula so that he can return to his time. Before he leaves, Barry tells Caitlin and Cisco to find a way to stop the Wraith. As Barry prepares to make the jump through time, the Wraith arrives, which forces the past timelines Barry to intervene so that his future self can return. Back in his time, Barry's confronted by the Wraith again, but Hartley arrives with his sonic gauntlets and defeats the Wraith. That's it.
Okay. Once again, we have a time travel episode. I hate these. I mean, I like the episode, but I hate time travel. It's just their excuse to fuck around with continuity. Like, now Hartley's been a member of Team Flash since the end of Season 1, and that's the only thing that changed. I'm like, bullshit. If I know my Flash, then that one event will change everything. Flashpoint. So, but, whatever. That being said, am I the only one that thought that Barry was the biggest fucking idiot in this episode? I just thought, like,
no.
I just thought, dude, why are we
like, he wasn't supposed to interfere with anything, and yet he interfered with, like, a lot.
He's like, oh, I'm not going to interfere with anything. And I'm like, I'm just going to knock my past self out, switch emblems with him, which I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, just, it was just dumb. Like, I feel like throughout this entire episode, I was just saying, bro, I don't need an excuse for you to retcon a lot of what goes on in Season 1. And their excuse is, oh, it didn't retcon anything besides that Hartley is a member of Team Flash now. And I guess that's fine. I mean, I don't...
But where the hell is he going to go?
It's just like... yeah.
Is he staying, or is he just a one and done?
I think he's staying from the looks of things. I mean, I don't know.
Someone said he might be part of Season 2's Legends tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, someone actually said that.
You know what? I believe that. I think that is a good chance of happening. So, overall, it was a really good episode. Again, seeing Eobard Thawne was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They've been showing that guy a lot lately.
A blast from the past, honestly. Yeah. I felt like I was watching Season 1 all over again.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I super enjoyed it. The Wraith was kind of cool, though. I thought it was Black Flash, but it's not Black Flash. But, okay. And I think they did a really good job with this episode. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the time-traveling gimmick in this show because it just gets confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
And I've decided from now on that I'm not going to care, and I'm going to let them explain to me. I'm just going to accept it as is. I'm just done with trying to figure out continuity and that stuff, so I'm just going to ignore all that stuff. Okay, so overall, it was a pretty enjoyable episode. My character of the week, I feel like I don't have much to say. I mean, your summary kind of told me everything I needed to know. I don't need to...
Yeah.
I don't need to say anything else, I feel. Because it was so in-depth. I'm going to go with... I don't know who I'm going to go with for my character. Do you have any ideas?
I really don't know either.
I think I'm going to go... This is the hardest part of the podcast, by the way.
Yeah. Especially if the episode aired. That wasn't too long ago, but...
It wasn't that long ago. It was last week. No, it was...
Yeah.
Or was it 2 weeks ago?
Well, technically the week before. We're on the new week now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with Barry. Even though I thought it was a... You know what? Screw it. I'm going Eobard Thawne. And
Eobard Thawne.
He's just so entertaining. and he's just so bad, and not bad as in like bad performance, but like he's just
classic Eobard Thawne, always 2 steps ahead of it. Of course, he was gonna figure out
that was future.
That was future Barry.
Exactly. Eobard Thawne was the most interesting thing because you were wondering like how would that affect season 1. Didn't affect it at all really, and which didn't make sense, but whatever. He's just such an entertaining villain, and I dig it. I was kind of hoping we would see him dress up as Reverse Flash one more time.
Oh yeah.
But that didn't happen. But in general,
oh well.
But in general, Eobard Thawne probably my favorite because he was like him trying to figure out what's going on was my most intriguing thing because I'm like he's gonna know, and he did know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Eobard Thawne.
I would say Eobard Thawne too, with the Time Wraith actually being a very close second because I thought the Time Wraith was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did too. So. But I didn't think of that. I just viewed it as a plot device more than a character.
Yeah.
So.
But he was pretty cool.
It was. So I'm sure another Time Wraith is gonna come. So
yeah.
One of these days. So yeah. Overall, my rating probably.
For me, I'd say a B.
I've been enjoying Flash season 2. A lot more than people probably. I listen back to myself. I'm like, people probably think I hate Flash season 2. I don't hate Flash season 2. I really like it, but
so far it's a little slower than
ironically
season 1 for me. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. After rewatching season 1 bit on Netflix the other day, I do think I do prefer season 1 for sure.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy the season.
And
I think in general, I still really enjoy this season. I will take this season over the past 2 seasons of Arrow for sure. I'm just saying. So, with that being said, I'm gonna give it a B+. I feel the time travel stuff was kind of confusing. It was so great seeing Eobard Thawne again, though, and there's just a lot of enjoyable moments that we didn't talk about in the synopsis, but we kind of have to move along. So, I'm gonna go.
Like seeing Eddie again.
Yeah, that was kind of a lot of emotional moments too, especially at the end with all that
that message.
Yeah, that message was. But but in general, I'm just gonna go with it was really good. B+. It had a lot of good moments, and Eobard Thawne was interesting. It's great seeing all that. So I'm gonna go with B+. I super enjoyed it.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So, but you still want to
stick.
You still want to stick with a B? That's fine if you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right. So
wait, I didn't talk about. Whoa, you didn't say what you didn't like.
I didn't like the fact that Barry was a complete idiot either.
Yeah.
But other than that, and I was kind of confused that why Hartley was the only one who changed, like that time changed and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Hartley was the only other effect.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird.
Like, to be honest, I would actually in the future like to see. And this is just me. This is just my opinion.
Okay.
But I would like to see the fact that Oh no, wait, no, never mind. This is stupid. I was gonna say that Eobard Thawne actually survived, but no.
That'd be way too confusing.
Yeah, that would be way too confusing.
So, okay. So, do you want to move on to? Okay, that's the newest episode of Flash, correct?
Yes, that was the latest.
Okay. So,
do you want to move on to Legends first, or do you really want to move on to Arrow?
Let's Legends. I'm sorry.
I have my phone on. Okay, I think we've already done. You said we had 3 episodes of Legends. I think we already done one of them because one's dated March 10th, and then the next one's dated March 31st.
We did the one Night of the Hawk.
Okay, so yeah, we only have 2 then of Legends. All right, so episode 9, Left Behind. Kronos disables the Wave Rider and flees back to the time stream, taking Snart with him. Rip is forced to reset Gideon to undo Kronos' sabotage, leaving the ship temporarily stranded in the time stream. Meanwhile, 2 years pass for Ray, Sarah, and Kendra. Ray and Kendra build a life together while Sarah rejoins, from her perspective, the League of Assassins. Rip and the rest of the team arrive in 1960 and get Ray and Kendra. They travel to Nanda Parbat to rescue Sarah, but she is fully committed to Ra's al Ghul's mission and turns the team over to him as trespassers to be executed. Rip invokes the trial by combat ritual to save the team, with Kendra and Sarah named as the champions to fight. Elsewhere, Kronos reveals himself to star as Mick Rory, having been found by the Time Masters and trained to be their bounty hunter. Kendra is able to get through to Sarah just as Kronos arrives. Raz frees the team, who successfully stops Kronos and discovers his real identity. Imprisoning him on the Wave Rider, the team decides to try and reform Mick. That's it.
Okay, thank you. One.
Shit, your webcam froze.
Okay, well.
Okay, it's back.
Okay. First things first, I loved the plot twist of Heatwave being Kronos.
Yeah, I love that too.
I thought that was great.
Almost like a Darth... To me, it was almost like a Darth Vader moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like...
But Snot, I am your best friend.
Snot, I am the man you tried to kill, but ended up ditching me in the forest.
Well, I knew from the start Mick wasn't dead.
Oh, I knew.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I didn't believe it
there's
either.
no way Heatwave is dead. Like, there's no way. So, that's really cool. Can I just... Okay, I know I'm going to go off on a tangent. I don't know why this show is getting so much flack. Like...
Yeah.
Like, what is this show doing that's ticking off so many people? Because they're like, well, the only things worth watching in this show are Captain Cold and Sarah, and everything else is just not... I'm just like, what are you watching? I want to...
Yeah. Well, I have to admit, Captain Cold is... Fuck! No! Your audio and webcam went out for a bit. Webcam's fine. Speak.
Hey.
Okay, now your webcam's frozen again. Got it. How's your side ending up?
You're fine. So.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway.
So I honestly really actually enjoy Captain Cold and Heatwave, because like we were saying, we didn't really think they were gonna have any significance to this show.
Yeah, but they have. Like, they've made...
They have.
Heatwave...
So far, I'd say Captain Cold is my character of the season right now.
Right.
With Heatwave being a very close second.
I agree. I think...
Like, I literally...
I thought they were just going to have them there because, like, oh, Flash fans will watch it because it has two villains from the show. And I'm like, great. So...
Yeah.
We're taking two of Flash's biggest enemies... and putting them in Legends for ratings. But no, I think they've thought this far ahead, and they went, no, we're not going to do it just for that. I think they did do that mostly because of that, but I do think they're doing a great job trying to make them relevant. And I think Heatwave, they turned Heatwave, who was just this pyromaniac oaf, and they've made him interesting. So that is my props. I gotta give them that. They've done such a good job with that. And... this was just a really good episode. Again, I don't understand why people are giving the show so much flack. I mean, I think what they're saying, I think the biggest complaint I've heard is that, well, Vandal Savage isn't that great. And I'm like, okay. I think in the last podcast we did talk about that Vandal Savage was an awesome villain, but I think I'm going to retract from that. I don't think he's that great anymore. I think he's okay. Like, I think when he's on the screen, I like him, but I feel like people's complaints with this is that I think people were expecting a more streamlined story with a Netflix show, which CW has been saying from the beginning. It's going to be like the Marvel Netflix shows where every episode's going to connect. And for the most part, it has, but again...
It has, but I feel like there has been at least one or two filler episodes.
I agree. I feel like... Which I thought, that's a big reason why I was so looking forward to Legends, was because of the lack of filler. We've had a few. And now that we're getting 16 episodes, that confirms, yes, there has been filler.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Overall, though, super enjoyed it. It was cool seeing Sarah in the League of Assassins. It was cool that fight between Hawkgirl and her was awesome as well. It was... I'm not a huge fan of the Rey Hawkgirl relationship, I will admit that. I just don't think we need it. But
still better than one other relationship.
but yeah, but that part was kind of cool. It was so interesting seeing like how Ray was like, we built a life in 1958 and you don't care anymore, which I think was super interesting. Like, that would affect someone. Like, yeah, you're no longer, but like I said, you've met friends, you had a job, you had, the line that got to me the most, and it may sound a bit corny, but hear me out, was when Ray said, I have exams to grade. That to me told me I had a life, I had a job, I had friends, I had a life in 1958 where I don't have to be the Atom. I don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. And I thought, that's pretty interesting, because he just wants to be significant. That's the whole thing with Ray's character, is that he wants to build a legacy to build off on. And maybe that's out of character because being a science teacher, but at the end of the day, you are still...
Yeah.
You're still being significant because you're a teacher. And I think that's pretty cool. So I found that super interesting. Just seeing Sarah going back to the League was really cool as well. They changed the continuity again, though. God damn it. So, in general, it's just really good. I mean, I don't know.
What'd you think about seeing Ra's al Ghul back?
Oh my god, he was better in this one episode than all of season 3 of Arrow, for sure.
To be honest, yeah. And I didn't even expect him to do a whole lot.
Yeah, but
his face when he saw Jackson, Professor Stein merge as Firestorm.
You know? Like, I'm the League of Assassins. We do some weird shit, but that right there, I have a jacuzzi that resurrects people, but you, sir.
At the end, Rip's like, was it Rip or was it Ray who was like, I'm sure you want an explanation for what you just saw here?
I wouldn't explain that. I'd just be like, screw you. So, that was cool. I don't know if they're going to do this, but I don't know why, but I have a feeling they're going to use Ra's al Ghul for the season villain next season. I don't know why I feel that way, though. I'm probably wrong, but I'd want to see that, because he needs to
redeem his character.
There is a good Ra's al Ghul in this show with Matt and Abel. He just needs to do more. So I think they should do it. So
I think Legends of Tomorrow could probably produce a much better Ra's al Ghul than Arrow. Arrow producers did.
He should have been the focus of Arrow. Going off tangents, but anyway. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. It was great. My character of the week. That's a hard one, because I have Ray.
I can't hear you. What?
I have Ray.
Your audio's fucking.
I have Ray and Heatwave as my two characters. Probably gonna go with Ray or Heatwave. That's hard.
Oh, Ray or Heatwave. Because Heatwave had that good Darth Vader moment. And then Ray with those I had a life moment. Ooh. Tough one.
That is a tough one. I'm gonna go with.
Have we ever chose Heatwave? You're gonna go Heatwave?
I'm gonna go with Heatwave, and that's my opinion because I just like.
Smart. I am your best friend.
I am your best friend. Now I will kill everyone that you care about. I loved it. So it's a cool plot twist. I don't know if he's been Kronos from the very beginning though, and they just used time travel stuff. They may have done that.
Maybe.
Whatever.
I'm gonna go with Heatwave too, even though Ray is like a grain of sand close.
Yeah, I agree. Grain of sand.
Yeah.
Never heard that analogy before. But anyway.
Alright.
But anyway, alright, next episode. Oh wait, letter grading. I'm gonna give it an A. The reason why it doesn't get an A+ is because it just wasn't A+ material.
That's it. That's all you're gonna say.
I can't think of anything else. Fuck it. A+. I'm sorry.
A+. I was gonna say A+ from the beginning.
Okay. Sorry. All right.
It was a great episode.
Yeah, it was awesome. Next episode.
Episode 10, Progeny. The team travels to 2147 to find Savage, They discover he is personally grooming a young child, Perdegaton. It's a weird ass name.
All the future
who will
names
grow
are
up.
weird.
Yeah, Perdegaton, who will grow up to unleash a virus that decimates most of the planet and allows Savage to rule the world. After debating on whether to kill Perdegaton before he commits this act, the team decides to remove him from the timeline and prevent Savage's rise to power. The kidnapping does not affect the timeline, so Rip releases Perdegaton and implores him not to let Savage influence his decisions. Unfortunately, the team's intervention with Perdegaton only accelerates the timeline, causing the event to take place sooner. Meanwhile, Raid finds his suit's technology has been used to create an autonomous policing robots that Savage will use to help conquer the world. And that his family line is founded the company that created him. After settling his differences with Snart for the moment, Mick reveals that the Time Masters have created a group called the Hunters, whose sole purpose will be to track down the team and kill each of them, including Mick for failing to apprehend Rip and the others. That's it.
Okay. Now, I just, by the way, I just kind of off tangent, but I watched both episodes back to back because
you missed, though.
I watched Batman v Superman that night.
Yeah.
Which we will review, people, next podcast. But I enjoyed watching them back to back. So, but anyway, that being said, this episode was interesting for a few reasons, and here's why. Number one, the whole it being a kid that ends up being the thing, they did not foreshadow that at all. Like,
no, they didn't.
That really came out of nowhere. They're like, oh yeah, Vandal Savage conquered the world. I thought he just gathered an army and just took over.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, this is more interesting, but I wish they had foreshadowed it a bit more. So, this also brings up the age-old time travel question. Do you kill someone to prevent something in the past? Is that the right thing? And I'm like, ugh, I've seen this so many times. But the fact that it was a child was interesting, I guess. I mean, I don't applaud of child murder at all in anything. I think it's a horrible plot device. I hate that. So I'm glad Rip did not kill the kid, because I don't tolerate that shit on the show. I'm sorry. Because it's like kind of off tangent again. It's like when you told me, what if they kill off Oliver's son and he's in the grave? I'm like, that'd be horrible. That would be like...
That'd be horrible, but it's better than the decision... It would have been better than the decision they did make, though.
Yeah, but from a story point of view...
We'll get to that. Yeah, but it is horrible to kill off a kid.
Yeah, just stay away from that. So, they did, thank God. And in general...
They did, but overall they made the worst decision ever.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
That was an interesting...
Again, we'll get to that.
That was an interesting conflict, though, with the... Do you kill a kid in order to... save the world. That was interesting, though, because most of the time it's an adult or something, and I'm like, look, murder is bad, but I think it's one step worse if you murder a child. My personal opinion. So, general, that was cool. Heat Wave again. Oh, so good. You know, seeing the team join up and kicking ass, that was cool as always. It was just a really good episode. Again, this is the episode that showed me that Vandal Savage, while maybe this season has not been an amazing villain, which seems to be the biggest complaint of this show, this is an episode where I think, okay, Vandal Savage is, like, you want to see him lose after this. You see him manipulating a kid. You've seen him rank through things. And that's interesting. I agree with a lot of people when we say we need more reasons as to why Vandal is evil. Why does he want to conquer the world? I do agree with that. I do think there has to be a logical explanation other than I'm just evil and I got rejected and I got cock-blocked. That's basically that's basically his reasoning.
That's basically his motive.
He's basically like
cock-blocked.
Yeah, his main motivation at this point is cock-blocked, and that's why I want to conquer the world, which is stupid. So hopefully they change that. What if it's that stereotypical "I wanted to conquer the world for you" bullshit? I really hope not. But point is, I enjoyed that. Rip Hunter was awesome in this. So, again, the characters are the reason to watch the show. I really feel that.
Yeah.
So, in general, this was a really good episode. I don't think I liked it as much as the last one, though. But it was cool seeing the future and all the legacies. Oh my god, that plot twist that it wasn't Ray that built those things, it was his brother. That was funny. He's like, that's such a thing him to do. So, that was kind of cool. Yeah.
Letter grading?
Letter grading, probably an A. The thing I did not like, I'm sorry, I did not like the whole Ray had a granddaughter thing, and he's like, oh, no. I'm like, what? What's the big deal? Like, it's just not like, what's the big deal? And I didn't like the whole hot girl going, oh, I feel like I'm cheating on Carter when I'm with you, and I'm like, oh my god, why? He's dead. You know what I mean? It's just like...
Although he should be coming back soon, shouldn't he? I mean, he should be reborn pretty soon.
I guess, but it's just like, he is dead. Also, the flashbacks with Hawk Girl and Hawk...
Yeah, the flashbacks.
That didn't make any sense. It's like...
Yeah.
It's like, why are these here?
What? Yeah.
It's just like, what was that about? That was... Like,
yeah.
I thought it was going to play a factor, but it didn't, so maybe not yet.
All it did was play the factor and do, oh, I feel like I'm cheating on Carter with you.
Yeah, which, again, I think is dumb. That was a lifetime ago with that kid.
Yeah.
So, that was dumb to me.
Overall, I'd say the same thing. Your same issues, too. I mean, there's some bits and places that are out of place.
Yeah. Well, like, I feel like if that kid came into the show and then we had the flashbacks, that would have made sense. But
yeah.
I don't think we're going to get that. I didn't enjoy the flashbacks, and I didn't think I thought the Ray thing was kind of dumb with the whole, I had a great-granddaughter, and I'm like, ooh, so you got laid and you had kids. Yeah, ooh. Ooh. Such a big deal. So, yeah. Other than that, that was probably everything else. Everything else, characters are overall cool. The fight scene at the end was cool, man. I enjoyed it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Character of the week for me was Rip Hunter. I'd say.
Yeah, I agree.
Because of that decision he had to make between.
Yeah, Rip Hunter for me too. For that, I agree. The Rip Hunter thing, because the whole point of the reason why he started this crusade in the first place, besides saving the world, was his family being murdered. So
yeah,
that right there, that was compelling for me because I'm like, he might do it. I really thought he was going to do it at one point. I'm like, oh shit. But instead of 5 years, it's now 5 days. So I was just like, screw that. We're not going to have you wait anymore. Here you go. So now, so that's awesome. So yeah, overall I give it an A. I look forward to when they go back west.
Yeah.
Where they go to the Wild West. I predict a Back to the Future 3 reference. So, okay.
All right.
So
what you said Luis had sent you some of his opinions. You haven't really read any of them.
Oh, he's liked all of them, with the exception
he's liked
of the one
Arrow.
we're about to do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get it out of the way.
Let's get into it. All right. So episode 16, Broken Hearts. That was the one we did that got corrupted, wasn't it?
Yes.
Alright, so Broken Hearts. Cupid returns to Star City and begins targeting high-profile couples. While the team works to track her whereabouts and prevent any more killings, Laurel works in court fighting Damien Dark's attempt to have the charges dismissed against him. After several failed attempts finding a suitable witness, Captain Lance volunteers to testify his involvement with Dark. The team discovers that Cupid is targeting couples that have recently been married. In order to draw her out, Oliver convinces Felicity to stage a secret wedding with him to set themselves up as targets, and then leaks the information to the media. The plan works as Cupid attacks Oliver and Felicity at the ceremony. Felicity distracts her long enough for Diggle and Thea to apprehend her. At the trial, Captain Lance's testimony is deemed sufficient to establish probable causes for the charges, and Dark is remanded into custody without bail. Captain Lance is suspended pending an investigation, while Felicity quits the team for good. In flashbacks, Oliver leads Ryder to a mystical idol, but steals it and runs off into the tunnels.
Where'd he go? One sentence flashbacks.
This episode was god awful.
This episode was awful. I think when we first reviewed it, we were like, it was fine.
We hated it.
But
no, I think we hated it.
I ranted for a long time about it.
I think we hated it.
I hate this episode, not as much as the one.
Aside from the court thing,
everything
else.
That's
with the court. The court was interesting.
And Cupid.
Felicity was a bitch.
Felicity is the most god awful fucking character I have ever.
Love is dead.
I have ever experienced in a show. The fact that she has such a rabid fan base baffles me beyond belief. I mean, she literally said, "Oh, I can relate to Cupid because I just broke up with my boyfriend." I'm like, fuck you, bitch. You're basically saying you can relate to a psychopathic killer just because you broke up with your boyfriend. I'm sorry. That is the second worst thing she has ever done in this show. The worst was the end of season 3 when she said, "I am willing to sacrifice the entire city for Oliver Queen." That is when I started to hate her character. And it's awful. It's just awful. That whole wedding thing made me cringe throughout the entire... That was nothing more than fan service.
This was a very cringe-worthy episode.
This episode...
I think we said the biggest bitch award goes to Felicity.
Absolutely. Felicity... Oh, by the way, we flipped off the show. Here we go. Flip it off, man. Yeah, flip it off, man. I'll show by too. So, because I'm...
And we're going to be doing this more... And then we're going to be doing this more as we get... into the newer episodes.
Right. This episode was fucking garbage. But can I say the plot point of Felicity being able to walk again is so retarded? Like, what was the point of putting her in
I broke up with Oliver, therefore I could walk again.
Oh, no! Just like,
That's a sign, Felicity. That's a sign. Just stay the hell away from Oliver.
Please do. So, this episode sucks. The only thing I liked was Cupid...
was the courtrooms.
And the courtrooms. Cupid in the courtrooms, that's it. Everything else sucked. This episode gets a fucking D, and I don't care.
I think I gave this a D- last time.
You know what, fuck it, I'm agreeing with you, Brandon.
With my character of the week was Captain Lance.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I don't remember why, but I think I agreed with you.
Yeah, you did.
No, yes!
Because Captain Lance sacrificed everything.
For
Dark in jail.
Everything, just to put Damien Dark in jail. That is interesting.
Yeah.
Not that fucking bullshit that they're trying to tell you is interesting. It's not. This love... Okay, sorry. I'll save the rant for later. Let's move on to the next episode. Character of the Week, Captain Lance. We gave it a D-. We hate this episode.
D-.
Moving on.
Episode 17, Beacon of Hope. Brie Larvin orchestrates her release from prison and travels to Star City in search of the biomedical chip that is being used to allow Felicity to walk. Bree attacks Palmertag, holding the board hostage until Felicity turns herself over. Curtis tracks down Oliver's hideout, discovering his secret in the process so that he can offer his help to the team to save Felicity, her mother, and Thea. The team arrives at Palmertag, but Oliver is stung by one of Bree's robotic bees. Back at the hideout, Curtis realizes the sting is actually implanted a bee within Oliver and is replicating itself. Laurel uses her canary cry to disrupt the frequency controlling the bees to save Oliver. Felicity is able to evacuate the board members while Bree reveals she is after the chip because she has a tumor that is going to leave her paralyzed. Curtis develops a virus to shut down the bees, which works and uses them to stop Bree. In flashbacks, Oliver goes after Ryder, who reveals that the idol has started to grant him his mystical powers. As his powers dwindle, Ryder escapes into the tunnels. Hey, at least the flashback got more than one sentence this time.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
No, I have a better idea. Live from Vancouver, British Columbia, it's the Olicity Show, starring Oliver Queen and Felicity Smoke.
And the background characters that are far more interesting, but yet we're going to focus not on them anyway. Anyway, okay. I will give this episode props. It was much better than the last one.
It was.
It was. And here's what I think.
Mr. Terrific, he was awesome too.
Dude, right? This just shows just proving my point. We don't need Felicity anymore. We really don't.
Yes, we don't.
We don't need her. After
Creators, get on this. We don't need Felicity.
Yes, we don't need her. But we would lose so much viewers if we got rid of her. You're about to lose a shit ton of viewers for what you already did. So don't give me that bullshit. Here's the thing. They think Olicity is the majority of the fan base. It's not. It's a very loud vocal minority. Everyone is mad. Everyone except those douchebags. And even then, some of those douchebags are pissed off too about what they just did.
Yeah.
So, it's bad. About this episode, sorry. It was good. I have to say, it was cool seeing
It was good. It felt like they were shutting out like very positive vibes.
Yeah.
And setting us up for what's gonna happen in the next episode. No, Siri, go away.
Go away, Siri. No one wants your opinion on Arrow. But anyway.
Hey, Siri, go away. Oh, wait, I'm saying "Hey, Siri" activates Siri.
Oh, stop saying it then. Okay. Okay.
Back to the episode.
But anyway, yeah. Too much Felicity again with her mom, and I'm like, oh my god, enough with this character. There is a meme that I love so much. It says, what they advertise, it's the arrow symbol. What it really means, it's Felicity's glasses with her name under it. I'm like, this show is Felicity and Friends. It is. And I'm sorry to say that.
It basically is.
I'm sorry, guys, but this character sucks so hard. I don't care if she's hot. Her personality has turned me off from her hotness. I'm sorry. It's bad.
It's the actress that's hot. That's not Felicity.
By the way, unlike the crazy Olicity fans, I am not going to attack the actresses. They do that shit. They have personally attacked Katie Cassidy. They have attacked Stephen Amell, saying, divorce your wife and marry her. I'm not even lying. I have heard that bullshit. And I think to myself, this is the fan base we're trying to appeal to. These idiotic, moronic people. And if they're listening to it, come at me, bro. I don't care. You want to argue with me? I'll argue with you all day. Well, no, I got other things to do.
Yeah, Sean will rip you down.
Sean
will literally tear you down.
I will analyze every single fucking frame, your entire argument, and I will destroy you if you want to argue with me about how Felicity's a good character.
And he's not joking. He will.
I will.
Trust me, I've known Sean for a long time. He will destroy you.
Yeah, like I have rarely lost debate. If you want to debate me down in the comments, and you want to debate me and tell me why you think Felicity is such a great character, why she is, tell me why, and I will prove to you that she is the most selfish bitch in this entire show, and that no one should like her. Sorry, back to this episode. It was all right. It was pretty enjoyable.
Save the rant for the next episode.
Oh yes, sorry, I'm warming up. But anyway, in general, it was good. I mean, it was cool seeing Team Arrow interact. It was cool seeing Mr. Terrific. That was awesome. You know, it was just cool, and I just super enjoyed it. And this episode showed me that we don't need the character we've been ranting about. We really don't. And I feel like that's what they were going to do. I thought Arrow was taking a risk with the Olicity fans, saying, hey, guess what? She's gone. We have this new character that people really like, and that he's going to replace her. But no.
And he's already confirmed as a Season 5 regular.
Exactly. So, we'll get to that and what I think that means. But, in general, I enjoyed this episode. My character of the week, by far, is Mr. Terrific. I super enjoyed it.
Same.
He was awesome.
So, and he was sick too.
Yeah. And this backflip and the bees interacting with Captain Lance, and that was so hilarious, man. I enjoyed that. This was a good episode. I'm gonna give it a. It's not. It has flaws. The Felicity part was annoying. I'm so tired of that. And it's not just one flaw, guys. It is a huge flaw. It is so bad with her right now. I have to take down an entire letter grading because of it. I can't tolerate it anymore. I really can't. And here's. Okay, sorry. I'll save this part for the rant when we get to the episode. But anyway, we should move along. Because I have a long rant. So anyway,
yeah,
I'm gonna give my.
And how far are we in right now?
We have 30 minutes left.
Okay.
For a 2-hour cap. So my character of the week, Mr. Terrific. I'm gonna give this episode a B. And the only reason why I give it, I gave the B episode a B. Because they had a few B puns here and there. But anyway,
I thought it was kind of cool to see Bree back too.
Yeah, I like Bree.
Because Bree was in the Flash episode that Felicity was in.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool giving her own villain. But now I'm rooting for her from now on. So
go Bree,
go Bree.
Well, she's gonna be paralyzed now.
Yeah. Oh, I want to see that. That'd be interesting. But anyway, yeah. In general, I give it a B, and my character of the week is Mr. Terrific.
I agree with you, honestly.
But
on every part, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. Let's...
Moving on to the big grave reveal episode, number 18, 11:59. Andy Diggle tells his brother that he was approached by Malcolm about a plan to break Dark out of prison. Oliver and Diggle foil Hive's plan, but it turns out to be a ruse designed to let Malcolm and the League followers invade the bunker and steal Dark's idol. The team attempts to locate Malcolm with Andy providing intel. Malcolm delivers the idol to Dark, but it will not work because it is incomplete. Diggle reveals to Andy that he personally hid the missing piece in another location. Oliver does not trust Andy and confronts him. Diggle interrupts the interrogation and sides with his brother. Dark orchestrates a prison riot, and the team sets out to stop him, with Andy joining them. However, when the team reaches Dark, Andy turns on him and gives Dark the missing piece to his idol. With his powers restored, Dark stabs Laurel in revenge upon Captain Lance before escaping with Malcolm, Andy, and several inmates. Laurel later dies at the hospital. In the flashbacks, Oliver helps the island prisoners escape and sets off a bomb to bury Ryder and keep him from leaving the tunnels. So I want to see what your sign said again, because yeah. So the person that was in the grave that we've seen from the very start of this season is Laurel.
No, it's
fucking Laurel.
It's not. They have said when they started this season, they didn't even know who was in the grave. They had no long-term plans for any of this. They literally came up with this shit on the spot. They have admitted to it. They could have done any other character, but no. They chose
Felicity.
Yeah, I know, right? They chose the Black Canary in a Green Arrow show.
Yeah.
I was so mad when I saw this. I just couldn't believe. I thought for sure that they weren't going to do it. I thought there is no way these people are that stupid.
Despite the theories too that people were saying that they saw this coming, I honestly did not think they would go for it.
Here's what I thought.
They did.
I was in denial about it. I thought, oh shit, there's no way these people are going to do it. But as it got closer and closer, I just went, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. And I wasn't surprised, but I was so mad. And not only was... Okay, let's talk about the episode. Before she dies. I'm not going to lie. This was pretty good up until that point.
Yeah.
I feel that when Felicity...
For once, Oliver was not an idiot.
When Felicity wasn't there, the show was moving at a good pace. They were focused on stopping the villain at all costs. They did such a great job, and I thought, yes, this is what the show should be. No drama, no bullshit, just stopping a villain. please, we can have the little romance thing later. We don't need it right now. But no, they not, and it was fine until the halfway mark. The way Damien Dark kills Laurel, to me, was an insult. Like, Felicity gets shot. She survives. Felicity is bloodied, and she's in a limo. It gets flipped over. She survives. Laurel gets hit in a fucking place that you could easily live from, and she fucking dies.
Not to mention her condition stabilized moments before she died.
Yes. And let's not forget the fact. Now, there have been a lot of people been saying that she's not dead. This is all a fake out. And I see where they're coming from. They have because remember, we did not hear the promise that Laurel said to Oliver, and they backed away from that. And they were like, well, she was fine. There's no way she's dead. And I'm like, okay, I agree with you. There is a big possibility that she is not dead and that the whole thing is a fake out, because now her public identity as Black Canary is revealed. So maybe this whole thing is a fake out. It's a fake death. But then that brings the other problem. If it's fake, then there was no point of it at all to begin with. You have been foreshadowing this from the very first freaking episode, having tons of fan theories, who we thought was in there, all that stuff, and then you fake it out. That is horrible writing. And these people have admitted that they are writing this shit on the fly. They are not coming up with anything on the spot. There is no long-term plan. They're making this shit up as they go. And it's so obvious. This is bad. I mean, what happened to that great show of the first 2 seasons? What happened?
Felicity happened.
The producers of... Oh, hold on. This Sharpie cap isn't closed. But anyway, this fucking goddamn show, when the producers went to The Flash and Mark Guggenheim took it over, that's when this show started to suck.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Felicity and Oliver were going to have a romance. I did. Okay? I thought it was going to be some short-term thing that wasn't going to last past season 3. Boy, was I wrong. So... But
the producers have even said this is not a shipping thing.
Do you believe them? No
what
way.
Do you think, Sean?
There is no way.
100% a shipping thing.
This is 100% a shipping thing. Laurel's death was so insulting. It was. Because
it really was.
What did she say? I'll never be the love of your life, but you will always be the love of mine. I just went, oh my god.
And I'm super happy you found Felicity.
Her dying breath. We don't know. Her dying fucking breath was that she shipped Olicity. People, how in God's green earth is this shit good to you? Because it shipped things? Who gives a shit about shipping? Who cares? I feel like I've talked a lot. Tell me what you think. You seem really mad, and I don't want to hog the spotlight.
No. I completely agree with you. And like you said, it was like Superman killing off Lois Lane just so he could be with Wonder Woman. You just don't do that.
You just don't do it. Thank you, Brandon. I was going to bring that up. It's like, okay, DC Comics, they fucked this up so hard in the New 52. They said, no, fuck Lois Lane. Lois Lane, Clark Kent in the New 52, no, fuck that. We're going to have Wonder Woman be with Superman. And no one fucking liked it. Because they just said, no, it makes no sense. Yeah, there's superpowers. Ooh, cool. Who cares? But this shit is on another level. And here's what I love what Mark Guggenheim said. We don't have enough stories with Laurel. You're lying your fucking ass off. You have 40 fucking years worth of reading material to adapt into a show. You've got to be kidding me. You have not 10, not 20, not 30. You have 40 years worth of stories where Green Arrow and Black Canary a.k.a. Dinah Laurel Lance and Oliver Joseph Queen, are together. Did I fuck up his last name?
No.
Okay, I thought I did. No, his middle name, sorry.
His middle name, no.
Okay, I thought I did, sorry. But the point is that you just don't fucking do this shit. And I love the excuse the Olicity fans are giving us. Oh, well, it's not have to be like the comics. Bro, look, I agree. It doesn't have to. Arrow from the very beginning has not been like the comic book. That's fine. But it's been telling the same type of stories, but in a different way. This crap right here is insulting. It is terrible. This was a shipping move. By far.
Mm-hmm.
We know this. We have known this for a while. And I knew these idiots would do this. Because they don't care. Here's the thing, CW, and you renew shows that don't even get 1 million viewers. So let me try to explain this the best way I can. Who are the people that supported the show from the very beginning? Comic book fans.
The comic book fans.
Exactly. Who are the people?
Who's the vast majority of the viewers?
Comic book fans. Now,
who's the supposedly vocal minority?
Is the Olicity fan. Oh, that's right. Not only did they have the balls to do this, they had the balls to say that us comic book readers and us comic book fans were a vocal minority. We are not a vocal minority. Your show wouldn't exist without us. It wouldn't. Your show wouldn't have made past its season 1 if we didn't exist. So don't tell me that we're a vocal minority. If anything, we're the majority, and the majority is not happy. So go ahead.
Even some Olicity fans are not happy.
Exactly. A lot of Olicity fans are like, look, I ship Olicity by far, but they shouldn't have killed Laurel. And I agree with that so much. It's just, listen, I've been saying this for the longest time. If Olicity was being written well, if it was good, if they didn't make it the focal point of the show, I could maybe tolerate it. Maybe. But the fact that it is the worst thing to ever happen to this show, it is the worst thing ever. They have transformed our characters that we have known from the first season into whining, sniveling, snot-nosed, teenage soap operas. Oliver Queen is an idiot. He is. Everyone's bitching and moaning about Felicity's change of character. I'm one of them. But let's talk about the effect that it's had on him. He is an idiot. What happened to that badass vigilante that kicked your fucking ass, put an arrow through you, and did not give a shit? What happened to that character that was isolated, lonely, and that we wanted to see him become a part of society again? Gone. All gone. For this fucking shipping. He is an idiot. He is the dumbest fucking character in this show. He just sucks now. They have turned the Green Arrow into a idiot. Why? Not only that, let's also discuss another thing as well. Remember our promises we were going to get the comic book Oliver Queen coming into the show?
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone remember that? Goatee wearing, smart ass, left-wing activists who stood up for the little guy. They were doing that at first with the mayor campaign, and that was awesome. He was starting to joke around a little more.
Season 4 started off so good.
What happened?
Yo, what the
Like, this show has become so awful. Guys, I can't defend this. I really can't. I encourage you all, if you don't like where this show is going, either do what Brandon does.
And just, which is view it online where your views don't count.
Right. Or don't watch it.
Or just stop watching.
Or stop watching.
Now, me and Sean personally are going to finish Season 4.
Yes.
But
Season 5 is up to debate.
We are going to debate that at the end of the season. When we review the season finale and the season as a whole, we're going to have a long debate about whether or not we should continue reviewing the show. And we apologize to everyone that has enjoyed our reviews of the show. We really do. But guys, we'll review something else. We'll review Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We'll catch up on that, because that comes out on Netflix like a month after it comes out. So, after it's over. So, we could easily catch up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and start reviewing that. So, we'll replace Arrow with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We'll do it. I'll do it. I know, Brandon, you haven't watched any of it, but but I'm pretty sure you could do that. So,
yeah.
So, I'm willing to do that. Our reviews aren't going away. However, let's also talk about something else. There's a rumor going around. I'm going to state a few things. We only have 15 minutes left, so I'm going to state what Arrow is going to do. They're going to make Felicity the new Black Canary.
Even if I loved Felicity and I thought she was the most badass character ever, I could still not see her being Black Canary.
Exactly. So, all of a sudden, she's going to be a badass martial arts fighter and not get shot the moment she walks on the field. There's suspension of disbelief, and then there is hell fucking no, that ain't happening. The point is, and I love their excuse is probably going to be like, well, you want Green Arrow and Black Canary to be together. Well, here's Black Canary. And I'm like, no, CW, you're not smart. You're not. You think that's a loophole? You think when we say Canaro and... Here's the thing. And I don't want to hear the whole, well, guess what, guys? 40 years worth of material. 40 fucking years. Not 5. Not 2. I'm like, you're bullshit little shipping. 40 years. And you just want to shit on it because you want to appeal to the stupid Tumblr people. Huh. That says everything.
Tumblr people, which consist of mostly like 14, 15-year-olds.
Who don't even know what a good story is if it hit him in the side of the head.
Yeah.
I mean, really. You don't. You don't care about good stories. You don't care about comic book accuracy. Hell, I've heard these people shit on the comic book saying, well, who cares about the comic books? This show wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the comic books. So you better pay your fucking respect.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't read them. If you want to just watch the adaptations, go right ahead. But you have to respect the source material itself. That goes for both CW and for the Olicity shippers. Your show wouldn't exist without the comic books. Your shipping wouldn't exist without the comic books, technically.
Yeah.
So, before you start saying all that crap, you better think about that. Whereas, us Green Arrow fans who have wanted to see a Green Arrow adaptation for a really long time, with him at the force, with him in the front and center, it was great. And then you people came along, and then Mark Guggenheim, being an idiot that he is, decided he's going to listen to you. Mark, if you're somehow watching this or listening to this, know this. You don't care. I don't believe anything that comes from your mouth anymore. I don't. Now, I don't hate Mark Guggenheim. I don't.
As a person,
I don't hate him at all. But as a showrunner... also, Mark Guggenheim, for those of you thinking that he's such a great producer. Really? Because he also helped make that shitty Green Lantern film in 2011. So, what's that? Oh, I'm sorry. The point is that Felicity, I agree with you, Brandon. If Felicity was the most badass, awesome character in the show, which they want you to believe she is, and she isn't, I can't understand that. Where's she gonna get the training? There's suspension.
She's just not Black Canary material.
She's just not. Now, I do want to say
Sarah comes back, though.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I want to bring that up. This show isn't dead yet. But here's the thing. There are ways you can fix this. You can have Sarah come back. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people are starting to say, well, Laurel in the show was never like comic book Black Canary. And that's true. She's been pretty different from her version. I will agree with you on that. But they have started to make her more and more like that version. And then, not only that, Season 3 is an even bigger waste of time because of this. Laurel was the only good thing consistently throughout the entire Season 3, and you killed her. Meaning all that character development that you've been building up since Season 1, they've been saying that she was going to become the Black Canary. It was just going to be a long process. All of it was for shit. All that foundation that they had come up with is now gone because they want to ship things. It's terrible.
Just depressing, man.
It's just... There's some ways you can fix this. I want to say this. You can have Sarah come back. Sarah has always been more like the comic book Black Canary. That is true. So, if you want to do that route, go ahead. I'm fine with that. Hell, you don't even have to make her Black Canary. You can just make her White Canary and just tell the same stories with her instead. I'm fine with that. But, you're not going to do that. And, Earth 2 Laurel does exist. We're going to see her in The Flash. And now, in the comic books, in Earth 1, Laurel Lance, Diana Drake, something like that. I don't remember at the moment. She died. Then her Earth 2 version came to the main DC continuity. And that was the one that married Oliver Queen. So, could we see that on the show? What do you think, Brandon?
If they fired Mark Guggenheim, yes.
Yes. That would be amazing if they did that, like the comic books, where Earth 1 Laurel died, and the Earth 2 Laurel came, and she became the Black Canary again, and she's the one that marries Oliver Queen, like in the comic books. So, maybe we could see that, but I highly doubt it, and we're going to have Felicity as Oliver Queen, as the Black Canary. I honestly think if they keep this shit up, next season's their last. I really feel that way. And in general, Arrow, I am very disappointed. As a comic book fan, and as a person in general, I am very disappointed. You didn't affect me personally, I should rephrase that. But I will say that you don't care. You don't care. And you killed off one of the best characters, in my opinion, the best character in the show. We've been with Laurel since the very beginning. I've enjoyed her.
She's been our character of the series.
I agree. She is, even when she wasn't Black Canary, she just went through so much, and you wanted to root for her, and she always overcame. And in a day and age where we want strong female characters, you killed off yours to replace her with some whiny bitch. Don't tell me that bullshit. Felicity ain't a strong role model. You want to argue with me on that one? I'll give you why. It's not just that you killed Felicity. I wish you killed Felicity.
I wish they killed Felicity.
I so wish they did. But it's not the fact that you just killed the love interest of Green Arrow. Okay, there's more than that. You killed a character we've been with from the very beginning that had so much more story potential. You did. DA, all that stuff would have been interesting. I wanted to see that. No, I'm not going to see it. And you not only killed off one of the most important characters in the DC universe. You killed off the leader of the Justice League. You killed off a mother figure to Roy Harper. You killed off the emotional center that keeps Oliver Queen from being a jackass. You killed off one of the strongest mother figures in the DC universe. It's insulting for this character that you made up and named after some reference character. By the way, in the comics there is a character called Felicity Smoke. She's Firestorm's stepmother. So, think about that one as well. All I can say to you guys, if you're watching this, I highly doubt you are, but if you are, I will walk from this show at the end of the season, potentially, and you won't care. But when your ratings go whoop, you care then. And then you'll come up with some bullshit retcon. But by then it'll probably be too late. Fix it, damn it. And actually learn to respect source material and write good stories again. You're getting crushed. We've got Daredevil. We've got Jessica Jones. We've got Flash. We've got Legends of Tomorrow and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. All those other great
Supergirl.
Supergirl as well. You are dead last, Arrow. Fix it. Because I've got a ton of replacements that could easily replace you. But other than that, my character of the week, in honor of the character, I'm going to go with Laurel.
Same. Letter grading, I say B, because it drops because, I mean, overall, I thought the episode was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it loses a letter because of the choice they made.
Right. Long-term grade for this episode is a D.
You gave it a D?
No, I said in the long run, what they set up, it gets a D. But the episode itself gets a B. I agree.
No, I think in the long term, it gets an F.
Yeah, never mind. I agree with you. Point is, there could have been other characters. Could have been Felicity. Could have been Captain Lance. I'm sorry to say. I know you said...
I'd rather have Thea die than Laurel. To be honest. Even though I love Thea, she was number 2 on my don't kill list.
Right. But here's the thing. There's no more stories with Captain Lance. What are you going to do with him now?
Oh, but now they have a new story because he has no one to protect anymore.
That doesn't make any... I know, that you're referencing an article that's trying to defend this decision. God almighty, that just doesn't make any sense. My point is...
I will admit, it does up Dark's status as a villain.
Yeah, he kind of sucks. I know we loved him earlier in the season, but he hasn't changed at all. He's just some boring...
I would like to see how this guy dies, though.
The fan base comes in and kills him. But anyway, we're almost out of time, but I will say, I'm so disappointed in you.
We'll say, hashtag no Laurel, no Arrow.
Yep, spread the hashtag around. Brandon, is there anything else you want to say before we leave?
Nope.
All right. But we thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the negative tone at the end of the podcast, but, you know, we've been really upset, and we can't take it anymore, and we will walk away. A lot of people think that we're going to stay on the show because, no, we'll walk away. I'll walk away. I don't care. I'll find something else to review and watch. So, that's fine. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening, or maybe even watching the Classic Podcast. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I've enjoyed this episode a lot. You know, I know we got really negative at the end, but other than that, it was really fun doing this. So, yeah. And, yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Is there anything you want to say bye to everyone, Brandon, or say your final thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Sean. I'm starting to think, you know, even though my views don't count for Arrow, you know, what is the point? I mean, there's so much else we could review.
Exactly. We don't need this show. So,
yeah.
But the show needs us.
Yeah.
Always remember that, people. Always remember that your ratings do
You
count.
are not the vocal minority. You are the majority.
Right.
You are what gives these people, what puts food on these people's tables.
So, if you don't like something, just don't watch it. No one's forcing you to. So, that being said, do you want to say bye to everyone, Brandon?
Bye, everyone. Take care.
All right. And I will say the same. Thank you guys so much for watching / listening to the Classic Podcast. I hope you really enjoyed it. And we will see you guys for the next set of reviews, where we're also going to review Batman v Superman. Have a good day, everyone.